All right, what is good, team? We are kicking off day one of this week, officially moving into like actual peak week. Comp is on Sunday, weigh-ins are Friday, so this is like the last week of doing stuff. And I've spoken about this a million times, but it's likely just a deload of some description. Training volume comes down, effort comes down. For the most part, food's coming up, which is nice. So we'll kick off today's upper body, basically full upper body session. Halves, 2 sets, 10 to 15 reps. Little load progression on last week, but staying a little bit further away from failure. All right, calves out of the way, onto upper body. Kicking off this session with 2 sets of rows, 2 sets of pull downs, and then some pullovers before we move on to our chest portion. And I think that's a great way if you're somebody who potentially struggles to grow your upper body in general, to set up your training program. Do full upper body sessions, maybe 3 to 4 days potentially per week, and each session can have a different emphasis. So you could start the session with back, for example. Then your next upper body session, you can start with chest. Next one, you can start with shoulders. Next one, you can start with arms. So you're getting a really high amount of training volume across the week. You're hitting each muscle group really, really frequently. And each muscle group has its own bias in that session, so you can start it fresh and give it the most stimulus. All right, so rows are done. Onto light pull downs. I think like in terms of exercise variation, we're trying to train the back completely. We're trying to develop your back completely. Utilizing movements like seated rows, like lat pull downs, are a fantastic way to make it happen. Don't need to be overly fancy, don't need to be overly critical with your exercise selection. Some simple, old school, straightforward movements are key to growing a bigger back. After this, basically just gonna do 1 set of incline lever rows and then 1 set of pull overs. But basically we're hitting the back from all angles. So I think in terms of how you would lay out a back session, I think that's pretty much it. So we'll get stuck in this. First work set, 8 to 12 reps. So if you're someone who struggles to grow your back, I think the biggest piece of advice that I can give you is really look at your technique, really look at your execution. Back training is one of those things it's very easy to fuck up, especially because you have the ability to use momentum. So on any rowing variations, any pull down variations, it's very easy to just swing heavy weights from point A to point B and think that that is going to translate or correlate to muscle growth. When in reality, load is only one piece of the puzzle. I think there is so much more benefit to be gained from your back training by utilizing a slow, controlled tempo, pausing in the stretched position, and then a brief pause in the contracted position so that you actually activate the muscles you're trying to train rather than just swinging weight from A to B and hoping that you're going to grow some muscle. All right, so onto our last sort of compound movement for the back, incline chest supported rows. And I spoke about this in previous videos, but just how you set up your training week based on like what you have before the session and after the session. So tomorrow I've got my heavy quad dominant leg day. So I've got some hack squats and some leg press. So I want to keep my lower back nice and fresh. There is no benefit to me doing any heavy bent over barbell rows or anything that loads my lower back because it's going to take me into my lower body session tomorrow fatigue, which I don't want. So incline lever row, one hard set, lower back stays nice and fresh, and I'm supported so I can get maximum output from my back without any carryover in fatigue to my lower back ahead of my leg session. All right, all the heavy, hard back stuff is done. We are finishing off one set isolating the lats, cable lat pullovers with the rope, 10 to 15 reps here before we move on to some chest, which I'm pretty happy to get done. I'm pretty smashed up this week, so let's get it knocked out. And then we can eat some food because we've got lots of carbs today, which is exciting. All right, so on to first chest movement. I have opted to go dumbbell press first just because it's like the hardest and most fatiguing. I just want to get it out of the way. It's one hard set. So I had 55 for 8 last week. Gonna see how we go. I'd be really happy if I matched it. To be honest, even if I got a couple of reps shy, not a bad thing in terms of fatigue management, especially this week. Not trying to do any extra. So even if I hit 55 and get like 5 reps, I'd be really happy. If it's like a 2 to 3 hour, even better. So I'll do my last one at 50, see how it feels, make a decision from there. So I actually ended up just going a full work set on 50s. Chest has been a bit funky the last couple of weeks. Just had like this nagging little, like bit of discomfort really in my left pec. I had a massage last week. Still pretty sore. So I'm not gonna push it. 50s is good, 12 reps there. Move on to some flies and then I'll finish on my last press movement. All right, so I am programmed for 2 sets of flies, 2 sets of press. But just seeing how this pec feels, pressing just doesn't feel that advantageous, especially this close to comp. So I might even just do 4 sets of flies, to be honest, which in terms of tissue maintenance, certainly fine, adequate volume, comparable to what I've been doing anyway, but just in terms of load exposure and risk of injury, far less. So I may opt for that instead. I'll see how this first set goes, 10 to 15 reps, make a decision after the second one, because I did have 2 sets programmed, but if I tack on another 2 sets, not the end of the world. Last movement in the books, wrapping up this session. Very happy to get this one done. The incline pinata press, I really like this. I had it last week, I did do it second in the rotation, so it was a little bit heavier. This being the last exercise, 2 sets, you're really just trying to maintain tension without excess load. So it's probably like 10 kilos lighter per side, but I'll probably do the same, if not more reps. So in terms of like actual volume PB potentially, but certainly not a load PB by any stretch of the imagination. But again, that's not the objective of this session. So first working set, 8 to 12 reps, see how it feels. Oh yeah, 12 reps, we'll take that. All right, so I'll get in one more set, but I may as well wrap this up there, guys. This is the last full upper body session, likely before show, so we'll probably have 1 or 2 more sessions. We've got legs tomorrow, maybe a couple of rest days, and then probably a light pump session towards the back end of the week. But if you guys get any value from this content, please make sure you like, comment, and share, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you back in here tomorrow, likely for my last leg session.